Well, hello. We are going to roll in today for our after school AI sandbox with Prairie Rose teachers, and we are going to look at Brisk teaching today. If you haven't looked at Brisk in a while, you might be thrilled with what you can do with Brisk. So Brisk is a Chrome extension. It operates a little bit differently. Love to know if you have used Brisk before. Have you used Brisk before? Have you tried it out? Let us know in the chat what that looks like. And while you're waiting, if you haven't used Brisk before, you can go to briskteaching.com, and that will take you to getting the extension, or you can go to the Google Play Store and get the Chrome extension there. So if you can see on my screen, right in the bottom, so I've got that big B with the circle, and then underneath there, I actually have a little tiny B. That's what that Chrome extension looks like. And then if you come up to the top of my browser here, right between the K for Cami and the Bitmoji, this little black guy right here. Oh, I can't zoom him in, but right above here, that is the Brisk extension. And we're going to get to know all about that. So just a quick little reminder about all these tools that we're looking at. The tools in the bottom, ChatGPT, Gemini, Microsoft's Copilot, Claude, those are the big large language models. They're the big workhorses. Those are the ones that companies have been building and training for years, that have take all of their learning from the internet, memorizing essentially, or learning from data and interpreting it, and then using that data to produce AI results. Now, we've been looking at tools that are built on top of those large language models. So you'll see lots that we've looked at. Quizzes was last week. We've done almost all the ones on the screen, and today we're going to look at Brisk. Those are built on top of the LLMs. They are often and usually made by educators or people involved with education to make it easier for teachers to do the teacher things that they need to do, and we'll see that with Brisk today. So when I send out the recording, I will send a link if you haven't gotten Brisk yet, the link that you can click to get all connected and signed up. We currently do not have a district plan for Brisk in Prairie Rose. So what you'll see me using today is the free version. And you can go ahead and you should be able to actually install that on your Chromebook. If you have trouble on your desktop, try your Chromebook. You should be lucky there. So what happens is there's a little icon that is installed, and you can click on that and it pops up a screen, and we will just get going and looking at that. So again, it's a Chrome extension. And an important thing to note, this is where it gets so mind-blowing. These are some of the places that it works. On a Google Doc, in a slide deck, any web-based article or website. It works in YouTube. I just actually realized that myself. It works on PDFs. And then you can actually use it in student writing. So what it does is wherever you're working in your Google Drive, in your environment, you take the thing that you're working on and then you Brisk it. You apply Brisk's tools to the thing that you're working on, as opposed to going into a tool, creating a prompt, and then copying that and doing something with it. In Brisk, you work in the tool, the assignment, the piece that you're working on as a teacher, you attach Brisk to that. So if you come up to I'm going to click on my extension here, and I don't know that this is going to show up in the recording. I don't think it is actually because of how I've saved, but I want to make sure that I click a little blue pin beside my Brisk extension, and then it'll show up in my board there. Now, to use Brisk, let's just hop over, and we are actually just going to head right on into Brisk. If you notice on these screenshots, though, the bottom right-hand corner, Brisk has a yellow glow. You see a YouTube in the bottom left, and that little B is glowing kind of red. And then in the top one, the Google Doc, it has a blue glow, like the blue Google Docs symbol. And so those, you can kind of tell what program it's used in based on the glow of the Brisk tool. So we are going to, let's just hop in and look at creating some things. And so we're going to just work through a whole bunch of different things that we can create. So I have here an article. It could be a class reading. It's about at a grade 9 reading level. and it's a article about climate, the effects of climate. And so it's just an informational article about at the grade 9 reading level. So one of the first things that we can do in Brisk, and this can be pretty handy, is we can change the reading level. So I'm going to come down to my B, and I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to click on the change level button. So if I click on here, I can decide where I'd like it to be assessed. Now, when I created this document, I thought it was about a grade 9 reading level. Again, there can be some differences in grades between the tools, so it's not going to be super exact. This one Brisk has assessed it and says, hey, this reading level is at about 12th grade. Certainly, I would say it's high school. Let's bring it down to 6th grade. So we often will have students in our classes who struggle, and we can bring it down to a different grade. Now, this just tells us that we are using the standard free version, and if we want it to go faster, we should have a pro account. Wouldn't that be nice? We would love that. Okay, so now I'm going to brisk it by pressing the sparkly button, and it's doing its action. Now you'll notice the first thing you'll see here is this was an untitled document, and then it put the title in. All right, so if we take a look here, I'm going to close that. If we look at the first paragraph of the original, our planet is a complex and interconnected system constantly interacting with the sun. The grade 6 version, our Earth is like a giant machine with many connected parts. So you can see that there certainly is a lower reading level. Now, I like that it gives me the original doc so that I can always go back and take a look at what that should be. Now, I'm going to just keep a copy of the English version here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back down to the Brisk button, and this time I'm going to click on change level again, but this time I'm going to change it to, we have a lot of Portuguese students at some of our high schools, so let's change it to Portuguese. Now, I'm not able to check myself very carefully with Portuguese. Usually I do French because I can test that out a little bit. But most AI tools right now are doing a pretty great job of translating. And so people are taking advantage of that. And if you think about it, if you have nothing, and this is for students especially, I like to give students a original version and then a translation alongside, especially if they're getting started or struggling. If it's quite close, they do appreciate that. So change reading level, and now we're going to be getting a translation. And so here you can see it's translating in Spanish. No, in Portuguese, because it's Portuguese. There we go. Looks like Spanish, similar languages. Hello, Leslie, welcome. We are looking at Brisk, and Brisk is an extension, briskteaching.com if you don't have it yet. What we've just done is taken a document at a grade 12 reading level. We've changed it to a grade 6 reading level with a click, and then I just translated that into Portuguese. So those are the things that we have done so far. Now, I'm going to come back to, let's go back to my original grade, high school grade document. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back down, and we're going to investigate all the things that are under this create button right here. So I'm going to click create. Now take a look at all of these options. So many things that we can do here. Now the ones that have the little house beside them, those are premium ones that we do not have access to currently, but all the rest we can do. So let's take a look at one of my favorite things in some ways is the quiz feature. I don't love it because of the quizzes that it generates. I think that's just kind of doing old pedagogy with a fancy new tool, but I do love that it exports to a Google Forms quiz. So it asked me, what should the quiz cover? All of the content in this document. And I'm going to put it at a 9th grade, multiple choice. Let's just go with 7 questions. And watch this, standards. I can click on Alberta, Canada, and if I wanted to add a standard, so let's say this was a science document, which it actually is, I could go in here and find science and align that to my curriculum as well. So just so you know that Brisk does have the Alberta standards. 9th grade multiple choice, 7 questions. Let's just click next. Now, we could have them add to this document, but more excitingly, let's have it create a new form. All right, there's that magic glittery button, Brisket, and here we go. Now, when we did our DIFIT, if you were with us that day, I told you that I've been waiting my whole life for a tool to instantly translate something, transpose something into a Google form. And however it happens, wherever it happens, I love that. So it has given me a form. Now I can rate it, and I'm going to just take a quick look here. So if I click on the question, you'll see that it has given me an answer. So it's given me the correct answer, what it thinks is the correct answer. Now this is where the 80-20 comes in. I have to check this over because AI absolutely makes mistakes. So primary source of the sun's energy, that seems fair. How do greenhouse gases affect Earth's temperature? They trap heat, that's the best answer. When snow and ice melts, the Earth's temperature increases because it is getting warmer. What factor doesn't affect climate of a region? Population density. All right, so these probably look pretty good. And so I could say, yep, these aren't bad. Okay, I'll just put in reasonable question. When we do that, we're helping to train the AI. I don't always do that, but sometimes for these educational tools, I don't mind helping them out a little bit. All right, now you did notice before it asked if I wanted to add multiple choice or if I wanted to add short answer or long answer. So I do like that it gives me some options as well. Now, I've never clicked the Brisk button in, there it is. So remember we said the B, will always sit in the bottom right-hand corner, and actually you can move that to get it out of the way. So if I need to move that over, but this one glows purple because we're in forms. I've never actually clicked the B in forms, but there's the add more questions or write another quiz. So if I click add more questions, I could say I want 1 long response, and it would add it there. I'd have to give it some information about what I wanted to. So once I gave it a topic of focus, it would go ahead and add that. And we'll just leave that there. It would put it right on the bottom. And so that is my Google Forms quiz. All right. So we've been back. Let's come back to our original document. The Google Docs is where we have the most items. I clicked on create, and we were looking at all of these different options right here. Now, one thing that is just so great, it actually takes out some other steps, is, again, when we use other tools, we have to bring something in, we have to upload, we have to do some moving around before we use the tool. But in Brisk, it just sits right on top of our Google tools. So now I'm going to come to this. This is called a YouTube video. This is one of the YouTube videos from my about AI sessions. And so I could pick any one of these, but do you notice down in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a YouTube Brisk button. So let's just put that right up here, center screen, so we can see it. So I can, I've got create options, give feedback, change level. Let's see what happens when we hit create. Okay, so I have all the different pieces here. I'm just checking my notes about the thing that I wanted to do. Let's say that we actually wanted to, I'm going to come back here. I could make a subplan, guided notes, an exemplar. So lots of different things. I could create all of these and they would be based on my, let's just create a little guided notes. There we go. Let's see what happens. So guided notes, English, 9th grade, brisket. Take a look at what those look like. So, do you know how many hours in the past I spent creating documents like this? Every time I see the guided notes for a video, it just makes me go, wow, this is something that I would have saved me hours and hours and hours. Now, there are other ways that we can also get students to carefully go through a video, and I might think this is too much detail. And so I could actually get it to down here, what would I like to change? I could say less detail, make it shorter, make it longer. So even if like this is probably more detail than I'd want, I can get it to give me less detail, would have fewer blanks. That is pretty amazing from a YouTube video. Now, another thing that we can do here, where did I get my Brisk piece, is I can actually use student activity. So Brisk has, this is a newer part of Brisk, just like in School AI or Magic School, we can create an activity for students to join. So I'm going to, let's say I wanted to do a Brisk tutor, create a tutoring activity, create a very short tutoring activity about this YouTube video, 9th grade. Let's go down to 6th grade, brisket. Now, if you're joining us today, there's going to be a chance for you to play along and experiment here. So what it's doing is creating an activity for us to join as a student. So just a reminder that our policy in Prairie Rules right now is that as teachers, we should not have students create accounts in anything with AI. We should also not have them log in with their personal email into any kind of an AI account. Now, this is how we use School AI and Magic Student. I've created an environment, I've created an activity, and I'm pushing that out to students. So the tutor is available. I'm starting to get some activity over here. I'm going to leave this up for a moment. Hopefully you'll join me, and I can see in the chat right here if anyone has joined me. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to click on monitor activity. Now, I should have hit preview and edit, which I normally would do because, again, 80-20, I don't know what I'm getting here, and sometimes it's too detailed. The last time I've done this without editing too much detail, but I'm going to say red light, green light, yellow light protocol is, okay, I'm just going to put a little answer in here so you can see what happens. Okay, so it says one student has started the activity. You can see here now. I'm hoping some of you will join me as well. I will leave this activity live, and so you can join us. Now, because I've signed in from the same device before, it recognized me. Normally, it would ask me to put my my name in. So the first time you add, it'll ask you to join your name. So Leslie, if you're still with us, it would be welcome. You're welcome to join us. And then it will give me questions. And I didn't get the full one right. It says I got a good start. If I want to see in progress, I can view it. There's Leslie. So you can see, just like in School AI, I can see all of my answers. And when I did this one last time from a similar video, it was, I thought, too long. So I should have gone in and previewed it before I pushed it out, because it was quite long, and it was very thorough, though, very thorough. So it certainly forced me to know all the things in that video. I would have had to go back and rewatch it a couple times to answer all the questions really accurately. So that is Brisk Boost for students. And so this is what it looks like. Now, I ran this from a video. You can also run Brisk Boost. Let's go back to a Google Doc. So if I click on my Brisk Boost from this Google Doc, you can see here's Boost Student Activity from a doc. And that is available also in the other places, such as we want to make sure we take a look at showing it from a website. So same thing here. This is a website about sharks. You'll notice it's green. I think that's their website color. Here I have Boost Student Activity. I could make a presentation. We haven't tried that one yet. So I'm going to click on presentation, create a presentation about this web page, at least 7 slides. Now, because we don't have the premium version, it will not give me pictures. I want 7 slides, and see if I say without images, with images is premium, so I'm not going to get that. Check this out. So website, personalization, let's go with something nice and plain. Let's just go this dark one, brisket. And from a website, this could be from a doc, from the YouTube video even. Look at that. There is a presentation. So let's take a look at its quality. We're doing our 80/20 inspection. It's got some fairly succinct bullet points. Again, there's that little pop-up. It wants me to rate it. I'm going to go ahead and just click through. So it's got lots of facts about the website. What I do like is that even though there was it's a National Geographic Kids, so sometimes there's ads on those sites. It didn't bring in anything to do with any ads. So it was very much about the different shark. You can see down here at the bottom, I could translate. I can add more slides. I can add a quiz onto this. Ooh, now I have to try vocab list. Let's just see what happens. I've never done this. I've never added a vocab list inside of a slide deck. Oh, it's just going to give me a new one. Okay, I thought it might add inside the slide deck. So what this is a vocab list from a slide deck that I generated from a website. So let's see how this is. Important shark vocabulary. I like how it groups them. Wow. Okay. So I've actually never run vocabulary in Brisk before, but I do like how it puts it into different sections. And I'm assuming it might just be taking those off of the same sections, surprising sharks. Actually, no, it came up with those on its own. I thought it might have just been looking at the headers from the website. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is, of course, I don't have the one piece that I want. Let's just go back to this. 2 things. I'm going to put some writing in here. Okay. In this document, I can click on the Brisk again. And one of the things that I really like is the feedback. So now this is AI generated, but imagine that we have the student generated one that I had intended to have ready and open, and I have that in a different window. So we'll just go ahead with it here. So first of all, I can get glows and grows. I'm going to say I want to focus on quality of ideas. And it looks like in the bottom, I might also have a diploma exam. Let's go 9th grade. I might still have a diploma exam rubric connected in there. So I've got some glows and I've got some grows. And so it says you've done these things well. You explain complex things well. Grow, you can add specific examples. The conclusion feels abrupt. Remove the random characters and text at the end. And that's where I just did the little typing and then some wonderings. So those are nice. I can change any of these. So I can edit any of these so that I've 80/20'd them so that I made them more true to my voice, to what I would do, and then I can insert them. And when I do that, it comes up at the top of the document and adds it there. Let's go back to Brisk again, and I'm going to go to inspect writing this time. So this tool is one that shows you how this item was created. And so I can see that it happened in 2 minutes. So if I see this in a student's document, I know very well, without a doubt, that they did not type all of this in 2 minutes and that it likely would be copied and pasted from somewhere else. And so if you're looking to detect AI as your students get older and start to use it, that inspector is one of the things that people first come to know about Brisk. Okay. And then let's go one more time into here under the give feedback. We can also look at rubric criteria. And so I actually have a rubric in. So let's go grade based on the rubric attached. Now, I had a version previously when I had a premium version of Brisk. When you have premium version, it will actually highlight the places in the text and attach comments. And then as a teacher, you can go through and say, yes, this comment's right, or it's not. And it's a lovely document. I accidentally deleted all of that I thought I had a copy. I didn't. And so I can't even show you how powerful that is. But this is my Social 30 rubric, which this is not in the same format or anything to do with Social Studies 30. So it would not be a great set of feedback. But what it does is it does, again, give me some comments, how to strengthen. So it gives me some basically glows and grows in each of these, some things I need to add. I could copy those and add them. So communication, I could put this up at the top, paste that in if I wanted, or I could just copy all, or I could insert all as well. And just like with the glows and grows, it pops it up to the top. So as an English language arts teacher, once I've read it through, I have been using the feedback tool. I read through, I probably delete about a third of what they have, and then I take what they've started with and added, and it saves me time, and it helps me get through a big stack of essays a lot more quickly. So that is some of the feedback tools. So we have looked at Brisk in Brisk created Google form, and then we've seen that there's Brisk tools within the Google form. We created a presentation from a website. So here's our little Brisk down here on our website. We created a presentation. We could create a resource. We could create a quiz from that website. We also went to YouTube and we created a set of study notes. Maybe they're right here. There we go. So those are the study notes. So just so many pieces of really important starting points for work. So Brisk is one of those tools that does indeed save time, and I find that I'm using it more and more. It's one of the slickest ones out there. It works slick. Now, we created all the things, changed levels. Oopsie. We looked at Google Forms. We didn't do PDF. We did feedback, and we did inspect writing. We looked at YouTube. We practiced some student interaction. We did look at rewriting and adding on. And here are some great resources if you would like to take Brisk to your school. And finally, our next session, Notebook LM and Google Gemini. If you have not tried Notebook LM, if you deal with heavy documents, especially as a course that you're working on or as a school leader or something like that, Notebook LM is one that we do now have turned on for us in Prairie Rose. You will love that one as well. All right, friends. Thanks for joining another After School AI session as well. We're going to stop recording, and I hope you enjoy Brisk.
Thanks, Connie.
Thanks for coming, Leslie.
Have a good day.